to Habs Unfiltered, episode 376. I'm your host, Blain, and I'm joined by my co-host, Matt Smith.
Good evening.
So here we are recording post-game after the season opener against the Toronto Maple Leafs and the NHL officials. And the Canadiens come up with a 6-5 loss in a shootout. So they get a point, which is good. Oh, and here comes Trege. So they do get the point. That's good news.
And Trege's here. Good
Bad
news.
news. And Trege's here, which is even better news. So as I was saying, the Canadiens end up with a point in overtime. So we're going to start with, I don't know, I guess our impressions overall, I suppose. Matt, what was your overall impression?
So I think it was a great game for a newcomer in Alex Newhook. I think he was all over the
Oh yeah.
ice. He was strong on the boards. He scored a couple goals tonight, and I think that his line was probably the best one that was on the ice tonight. I think Doc had a very solid game, and he's showing that he can drive his own line. And we saw a little bit of what Slafkovsky can do when he's playing with some confidence. So overall, good impression for that line and for those guys individually. However, there were a few players that kind of didn't really stand out to me for any real any real reason. I thought that veteran line, the Monahan, Pearson, Gallagher line, I just thought they were kind of going through the motions. I thought Monahan had a fine game, but he didn't have anyone to distribute the puck to. So I think there'll be some changes to that line coming on Saturday.
Well, I think my biggest takeaway out of this is that the Canadiens have found a second line.
Yes.
So the Suzuki line doing what they always do.
Yep.
But the Doc, Newhook, and Slafkovsky line really clicked. So
Right.
the Canadiens now have two pretty good lines.
Yeah. Which they've been looking for forever.
Yeah. And Treg, what were your overall impressions of that game?
Allen was ass. Yeah, they won that game. It wasn't for Allen's 3 week goals. The two goals by Matthews in the final, 3 minutes of the game were just terrible. Just terrible. Other than that, and then in overtime, he plays like friggin' Carey Price. But
Right?
other than that, I thought Slafkovsky was probably the best player on the entire ice. I don't care that he only got an assist, but he was setting everybody up. Like he was hitting tape to tape on every one of his passes. That pass to Newhook for the goal was just smart, incredible, quick, because it was in close to the net with a guy on him. And he had to make a quick decision, and it was just tape to tape. Doc looked amazing. Great puck control. That whole line was winning all their battles. I believe Suzuki was close to 60% in the face-off circle.
Almost 70.
65.
Yeah,
65.
something we talked about in the last actually in our last show about how he really needs to get better at his face-offs to field goal. Yeah, it was offside. You could see clearly in that other replay that it was offside, but he got one back on the power play. I didn't like Matheson's game, to be honest with you. I didn't think Matheson had that great of a game defensively. I thought Jekel played great.
From the time we got to see him.
Well, I mean, when he was on the ice, he played good. He made good passes. He made his offense. I think Jekel's offense is really underrated.
Yeah. A lot of untapped potential there.
I think the Graybeard line was slow and terrible. It seemed like Pearson wasn't too bad, but Gallagher's just not there. Like
it looked like he was it looked like he was skating through cement.
Yeah, he was just, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I liked what I saw from Evans, Yolonen, and RHP. I like that line. If I was the coach, that would be my third line on Saturday, not the
I guess.
Actually, I'd probably put RHP and Yolonen with Monahan. Give him some speedy guys that he can put the puck to, because Gallagher and Pearson just aren't.
Yeah, give him with something that he can create with.
Yeah.
Because we
And
saw tonight, we even saw tonight that that wrap pass that Monahan made to Caulfield for that disallowed power play goal. He went around a defender to get it to him. I thought it was an excellent pass.
yeah.
It's too bad the goal didn't count, but
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way Montreal's offense played. I thought Gouli had a fairly good game. I mean, I don't think the defense was terrible. I mean, and Allen did face 40 some odd shots, so I'm not going to
yeah.
take everything away from him. But Gregor's goal and the two Matthews goals were just ass.
So after the disallowed goal and then the parade to the penalty box with some fairly questionable calls, especially that trip on Domi. I mean, Domi basically fell on his own, and the referee that was 200 feet away made the call, which, whatever. They made the call. The Canadians had to deal with that, and they didn't really respond well. And then they went into the intermission. So, how a team responds when they're facing that really does, you're down a goal, you're going into the third, you kind of gave up quite a bit of offense in that second period. I mean, you only had 2 shots. Um, you were dominated. So how they came back out and they just started banging out goals, 2 goals in 90 seconds. I mean, to me that speaks volumes for the character in the room and how this team is already gelled together fairly well.
Yeah. I want the Canadians like obviously you want to see a win. It is unfortunate that they let this one slip away tonight, especially kind of how it finished.
Yeah.
You bring out your 3 most offensively talented players. Suzuki is an absolute wizard in the shootout, and he just whiffs. Caulfield, who's like a 40 goal scorer more than likely this year based on his play so far. He misses the net. And
I think
then
he hit the post, actually. I think it being tinged off the outside of the post, but
okay.
still.
But again, it was just kind of frustrated how it all ended. But you know what? I want to see the Canadians play these tight games. I don't really like seeing 6-5 finals, and I hate the shootout. But I want to see Montreal be that team this year that is like, and I'm gonna swear because it's what I do, but I want to see them being that team that other teams are like, not these fucking guys again. Won't they just go away? Right? Like I want to see that. I want to see that fight. Like if they lose 1-goal games, but they were competitive, I'm a lot more happier than that than if they just, give up with 10 minutes to go in the period and just let a barrage of shots come through.
We talked about that in the last episode, how the sign of this team improving would be being that kind of team. And
Right.
they did show that. I mean, I know it was choppy. I know there was a lot of broken plays. I mean, it's the
On both
first game of the
sides.
regular
On both
season.
sides of the
Oh
ice.
yeah. Yeah. It's early. It's the first game of the season. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more sloppy, but if they can continue to play that that style, a little bit more hard nosed, I think that will be a very successful
Agreed.
season for them,
Agreed.
regardless of the outcomes. Now, speaking of hard nosed, Jack he he did not, he really did not like that hit from behind by Reeves on Gouli that somehow went uncalled.
He didn't
I mean,
hesitate. He didn't hesitate.
no,
He went in there and he held his own against arguably one of the best fighters in the league. And we all kind of thought that it was going to come, and the media's been pushing this forever. Social media has been pushing this forever. I think it was just a matter of time. Sometime this season, we were going to see it. I didn't think it was going to happen in the first game, but that's what you want to see. You want to see players step up for each other, and it happened multiple times throughout the game. Little scrums. One of them ended up leading to a goal for the Canadians when Bertuzzi took a little bit of liberty in front of the net. And again, you don't have your tough guy on the ice, so what do? They just jump on people's backs and kind of improvise and do what they got to do. But going back to Jack, I think that it was the right thing to do. I agree. It was definitely a hit from behind that went uncalled. So I don't really agree with the instigator call. It took Jack out for that period of time, brought the Canadians down to 5D. And when the parade to the penalty box was happening and everything, they could have definitely helped their cause having him out there.
Especially when you're playing against the Leafs. They're a team that only play their best when they're up a goal. So they're built for the
Or up a
power play
man. Or up a man.
or up a man.
Yeah.
So they're built to score on the power play, and that's their bread and butter. If they're not scoring on the power play, they ain't winning too many games. Because at 5-on-5, they hover around the outside, they hover around. When they're down a goal, they look like they're defeated. Like that's the kind of team that you want to be able to really take it to. That's why I think the Canadians had a really good game, because they consistently went after the Leafs. Now the Leafs clearly got power plays, they got the goals. It's hard not to when you got that kind of talent. So I don't know. Oh, back to the Habs though.
I think I just want to
Slafkovsky.
bring up
Okay,
before you
yeah,
be
go ahead.
I just want to bring up that I really was disappointed in the fact that they couldn't put the game away with almost 5 minutes of an empty net in the Toronto zone. That kind of pissed me off too, because it just seemed to me like they were forcing everything, they were rushing everything. Every time someone got the puck on a stick, they rushed everything, rushed, and there's a few times where they had the room, they had the time, they could have, hey, let's just get this out to center ice and hopefully a guy can get it on a stick and just throw it into the net and put this game away. And that kind of pissed me off too. But again,
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring that up because we didn't mention it. And I mean,
it's
they
true.
pulled the goalie at 5 minutes and they pulled him again at 3:30. And Montreal, I don't even think got anything even close to center
Yeah.
ice the entire time.
And it was a little bit about personnel selection as well. That first goal that went in when they originally pulled Samsonov, it was Pearson, it was Yolonen, it was like, yes, I know
Yeah.
you're going to put your some more defensive players out there, but I thought it was a little bit premature to throw them out there. And we saw the goal. And again, I'm not any um goaltending expert, but that was a soft one on Allen not
Oh
being on his
yeah.
post, right? So, but again, a guy we had 42 shots against him, and that's one thing that's got to change as well.
Yeah, the volume of the shots definitely, and not just volume, the quality. They gave
Yes,
up a lot of really good high danger chances.
they did. There'll be changes made.
Slafkovsky,
There'll be changes made for Saturday.
Now to Slafkovsky, I mean, he had a really strong preseason, and then in the couple of days since the last game against Ottawa, all the talk on social media anyway was, oh, it's just preseason. It doesn't mean anything. He should go play in Laval. He's no good. Blah 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 blah. All the naysayers were out. But Treg, you mentioned it right off the start. He really played a good, solid game. He was on his game, and it's not just the crisp passes. The speed was there. Like that assist he got to Newhook, he outskated two defenders, and he was like 10 feet behind him, got ahead of them by the blue line, and made that play.
he won the battle in the corner behind the net to get the puck out to Doc, I believe, then
That's right.
beat two Maple Leaf defenders
Yeah.
to get up there for Doc to give it to him for him to tap it over to Newhook. And not just that, but he was winning board battles. He was forechecking well. He was the goal. I believe Newhook's second goal was
Yeah,
because
he's the one that stripped
Slafkovsky
the puck.
he stripped the puck and he kept the puck in the zone to get the puck to Doc, who got it to Jack Eye to for tip in for Newhook. And again, not only did he do that up by the blue line, he had the common sense to go in front of the net with Newhook to screen the goaltender and try for a. I mean, the guy is just. I know everyone's saying he needs a year in Laval, and it's just one game, so I will bring that up. It's just one game,
It is, yeah.
but if this is what we're going to see from him on a consistent basis, man, this guy's going to be. I mean, my prediction of 40 points could be low. I mean, this guy's going to be. If that line keeps playing the way it is, like you said earlier, the Canadians finally have two lines that they can go to, and I think the second line was better than the first line. I think the second
Tonight,
line
yeah,
Tonight it
tonight
was. Tonight it was.
was
Yeah.
better than the first line. Not taking any away from Suzuki and Caulfield and Anderson, but I think I think that's what we have. I think we have our line, and maybe when Dvorak comes back, you'll see maybe Monahan pop up on that line. I don't think Anderson's a good fit on that line. He wasn't too bad tonight, but I still don't think he's a good fit. Although I will say Anderson did. I don't think Anderson had a bad game tonight either.
No.
He didn't
no, he
score,
played well.
but he played well.
Now,
So,
Slafkovsky is actually 10% of the way to his last season's point totals, and we're just one game in.
I mean, I can see him getting 40 points. I can see him getting 15 to 18
Yeah.
goals and 40 points. And if he keeps playing like this, he could. I mean, he's more. Before people go on about Slafkovsky, yes, he had 7 goals in the Olympics or whatever it was, but he's really a playmaker, and he was a playmaker his entire time playing before that. So, and you can tell by the way you're watching it. Like I say, his passing was crisp, like it was tape to tape to anyone he got the puck to, and some of the passes he made were just, you know, excellent reads. So, I can see him. Yeah, I can. This is the guy we drafted, and let's just hope he consistently does that throughout the year.
And he's got a really good one-timer. He was set up
Yeah.
a couple of times. He got the shot off. The other one kind of got tipped, but if he can get more chances like that, he's a playmaker, but he's got an excellent shot. So if he gets a little bit more of those, get a little tip-ins in front. This is if he can continue to play with this engagement, this confidence, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to see more games like this than not.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he should have been out on that power play in the overtime because that power play was ass. Let's just pass it around. We're just going to pass it around. Let's just pass it around. Are you open, Caulfield? Are you open, Caulfield? Are you open?
Well,
No.
I
Oh,
was
time's
waiting.
up.
I was waiting for that
Time's up.
Suzuki skate in and shoot thing, and he tried to do
Yeah.
that a couple times, and it rolled off his stick, or he didn't get the shot that he wanted, or whatever. But with a 4-on-3, and with the guys they had out there, it's not really the easiest to have any sort of net presence or anything. But again, it was ass, as you were saying.
But it is what it is. They got one power play goal. They were 1 for 4, so that percentage is better than what they were all last year. So
It could have been 2 for 5.
could have been. According to the Montreal app, there they were 2 for 4, but they didn't take the one off. That Caulfield didn't count. But
Yeah,
their penalty kill was good until the two power play goals. I thought it was good. And then all of a sudden, like after that callback, it's almost like after that callback goal, Montreal was like, "Well, we're screwed." And it was just because their first shot after that was the goal by was the tying goal by Caulfield. That was the first shot after the goal that got called back.
it was nearly 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's unacceptable. I know you're shorthanded quite a few times in that second period, but they completely lost momentum. Then they just stopped skating. They held back. They collapsed in on their own goaltender, and the Leafs feasted on that.
And just another thing, and this is against Allen, that Marner goal in the shootout, he pretty much had an open net because Allen was pretty much sitting in the back of the net.
Inside of it, yeah.
Inside of it. It was like, what are you doing? Like you look so good on the first two, covering the net, and then all of a sudden Marner comes down, you're like, I think I'm gonna make myself as small as possible. This will really confuse him. And I don't know. Anyway. I think goaltending is going to be our Achilles heel this year. That's what I think is going to hurt the Habs this year.
So did you say Montembeault for sure for the opener on Saturday?
Oh yeah.
I think that was always the plan, regardless, win or lose this game. Unless Allen had a 40 save shutout, I think Montembeault was going to get the start regardless.
So with the opener, do you guys expect any lineup changes or some line changes?
I think Barron might slot in, maybe.
For who?
Maybe. Uh,
Harris.
yeah, well, I don't know about Harris. Maybe Kovacevic did a little bit more puck movement in there. I mean, Kovacevic played a solid game. Like he wasn't bad at all. He showed some good foot speed. He played over 20 minutes, but I mean, he was kind of hemmed into his own zone. I mean, the Corsi that he has is 35. That's not good. Um,
Do you
the high
see
danger chances. Oof. Let's see.
Pizzetta coming in?
Quite possibly.
The only reason I don't see him coming in is unless Pearson or Gallagher are out, just because I thought Yolota and Evans and RHP played
I think
a
if
fairly
it
good
was
game.
anything, it would be Pearson, although based on the performance, it should be Gallagher, but it will not happen on a home opener. They
No.
will not set Gallagher on a home opener. And I don't think and I think that St. Louis is the kind of coach that is going to let a guy like that work his way through it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, okay, like do something.
If anything, for the forward group, I think you might see Pearson or RHP swap. Maybe
Right,
RHP gets third line minutes while Pearson's on the
Yeah.
fourth.
Yeah.
I could see that having two, having LaValliger with Gallagher or something. Maybe you never know.
I mean, you got to give someone with a little bit more speed. Although Pearson's not slow, which kind of surprised me. But Gallagher just drags that line down. Like he was like, I don't know, maybe that hit that he took in the pre warm up skate concussed him or something. I don't know, but I don't know. He looked like a bag of shit. I'm sorry, but
I'm legitimately concerned. I'm legitimately concerned for him right now.
That's $6.5 million where you're looking at it going, Jesus Christ, is this how it's going to be? Like, even if he's healthy, this is how it's going to be. Like,
right.
Something's got to be done here.
Right. Something to look forward to though on Saturday. Always look forward to the Canadiens home opener. They always do it. Honestly, they do it better than anybody else in the league. They don't have to do all the theatrics because that's where they bring in all the history and everything. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to do for that. And it's going to be against Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks, who lost Taylor Hall tonight to an injury, probably a week to week.
Shocking.
The good news,
Taylor Hall injured.
Weird. But the good news on this is we don't have to worry about yet another rookie getting his first goal in Montreal because Bedard already got it in Boston.
He did against Boston, yeah.
Oh, did you see that? Connor Bedard gets his first assist. Connor Bedard gets his first goal. Connor Bedard gets his first penalty. What are we going to see? Connor Bedard had his first shit at the Air Canada Center. Like, what the?
I didn't see any of that.
But do you know what?
I didn't see any of that at all.
Do you know what? I will let that pass. I know it's going to become one of those things that it's going to be like Bedard this, Bedard this, Bedard this. But you know what? It's kind of a breath of fresh air hearing another player's name on Sportsnet.
Oh, listen.
Especially
Matthews 300 goal. Marner's 100th assist on a Matthews goal.
They changed the goal song.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
They went on about that for the entire goddamn game. The goal
That's
song.
What I was about to say.
Even Leaf fans were saying, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about the goal song? And the song's about drugs. So it's really interesting because the song's about getting high on drugs.
Well, I didn't hear shit about Bedard because they were too busy bitching and moaning about that goal song, which, by the way, is still trash. I don't know what it is with Toronto, but they're fucking amazing at picking horrible goal songs.
Actually, that song was Montreal's pre-game warm-up song during the 2021 Stanley Cup Finals run. So, thanks for using Montreal to steal something from Montreal to make your club look better, Toronto. Yeah. Good job.
I guess they felt they wanted to hear it more because they only heard it 3 times.
Well, listen, Sportsnet, I get it. They own part of the Leafs. I get it. But Cuthbert, the excitement in his voice every time Matthews touches the puck just annoys me. Like, don't make it so goddamn biased.
Yeah.
Don't make it so biased.
The best part of that game was when the audio screwed up and it sounded like Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Right? And I was just like, what's going on over here?
Are they using a filter?
Yeah.
Is this game
But,
in AI?
Yeah.
but yeah, like I don't know. Anyway, whatever. TVA is no better. So
Right.
Oh God.
TVA
Yeah,
just
they're
talked
pretty
about
bad.
the Maple Leafs the whole time as well. So it really didn't matter which one you put it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we got to get used to it. If that's what we're going to watch, have games on against the Leafs, you're going to have to get used to hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
Uh,
but
my
yeah, but
final
shit.
takeaway out of this, my final takeaway out of this game, though, is that it's the young guys that really excel. Slafkovsky, he had a 75%, Corsi 4, Gooley, Doc, Jacky, Newhook, uh, like they were all up there.
Yeah,
They
it was
all
good.
had
I enjoyed it.
positives. Yeah. So it
I,
was an
it
entertaining game. They made it hard to they made it hard on the Leafs to win. Um, Granted, Canadians goaltending is really the Achilles heel at this point because it looks like they've got a team and they've got players coming that will be entertaining and will be hard to play against, especially once they get some legitimate starting goaltending. Like
well, they've been used to
Allen's a good
having
backup.
they've been used to having it for so many years that
Yeah.
it's one of those things that they're very much lacking. And you look at a guy like Fowler, who's likely going to be a guy that's going to be a future starter in the NHL. He's still going to be X amount of years away, right? So in the meantime, they've got to find out what's up, and hopefully Montembeault can take that next step in his career on a contract year.
Now, final thoughts, Treg?
I like whiteboards. They're remarkable. I'll miss the game Saturday. I have my show Saturday night, so I won't see the home opener. Of course, I'll probably look at my phone to see what's going on. Hopefully, they'll win. But if they play anything like they do tonight, and they tidy up their defense and their goaltending, should be good. Should be a good season for the Canadians.
A game like that against Chicago would be a win for Montreal.
Oh well, tonight should have been a win, but we all know what happened there.
Yeah. What about you?
Greg, best of luck with your show. Just want to say that. And other than that, good to be back for another season. Definitely happy to be back behind the mic, have us all together, and looking forward to many more shows along the way before we all start deploying again.
I won't
Yay.
be.
You'll
I'm
just be
super
lifting
jealous of
things
that
and
one.
putting them down, right? So
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, maybe you can lift a razor and get rid of that mustache. Holy cow.
Never, never keeping it. I kind of like it now. Kind of like it. I'm going to be the coxswain of an MCDV, so I got to have something. So,
Yes. Kind of creepy though.
yeah, I'm a coxswain. I can get away with creepy.
That's true. That is true. All right. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in again. I know we had a long layoff before the last episode. So we had about 3 weeks off. We're going to be a little bit more vigilant on trying to get shows out. Granted, like Matt said, I mean, we're fairly busy. We're all still in the military. We're all still running around, uh, prepping for deployments or working extra hours, or in Treg's case, going to the gym a lot so he can get himself all swole. So we're going to do our best to put out a couple of shows a week, if not at least one. But please bear with us. It's unfortunately our day jobs that are in the way, and damn bills we got to pay, so we got to keep working. So I just want to thank everyone for. Oh yeah, go ahead.
And to follow up the whole we'll do shows when we can comment. For the people that are watching on YouTube right now, make sure you hit subscribe. So we know that you guys are watching. We want to get our numbers up, obviously. And if we don't have shows, we're always usually engaged on social media, whether it's myself, Blain, or Trege on our own accounts or on the Habs Unfiltered account. So make sure you follow there. Make sure you retweet what we're showing. And if you like it, make sure you comment, engage with us. It's what we enjoy doing.
And if anyone wants to pay us to do this so we don't have to work our day jobs,
yeah,
we can do one every night if you want.
Yeah. You can do 2 a day.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just
So
throwing it out there.
anyway, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for interacting with us. Please continue to do so. And remember,